All right, everybody, welcome to another What's on Dave's Shelf video. And as you can see here, here's the basic Dungeons and Dragons B series or beginner series. These are all of the modules that are in the B series. There's a total of 12 modules, B1 through 12. Then there's a sort of like a campaign module that was put together with B1 to B9. So that book is called In Search for Adventure, I think it is. And then there's also a B solo that my son and I used to play. And I'll try not to talk about my son too much because I'll probably start crying like I did in the last video. But, you know, when you go from seeing your son every day to once every 6-8 months, it's pretty tough. And I'm sure all you parents out there would agree with me. So here's B1. B1 is In Search of the Unknown. And this is, you know, there's a couple variations. So I believe this version of B1 came out of the Holmes box set back when they used to put adventures in the box sets. But, you know, starting with the red box, they didn't do that anymore, which was, what, 87? So, yeah, here's B1. In Search of the Unknown, and then here's the other colored cover as well. This book's actually not in very good shape because we beat the hell out of it. So, In Search of the Unknown, B1. This is like pretty much the only one of its kind, and I wish they did more modules like this, meaning TSR back in the day. So this was a totally random adventure. And what I mean by totally random was you got your maps for, the castle, Rogon's castle and Zalagar's castle, whatever their names is. They basically fought a barbarian tribe to the north. They beat them. Then they took their spoils and built this castle. And then they wanted to take the fight to the barbarians because I guess they thought that they were going to attack again. So Rogon and Zalagon, or Zalagar, whatever their names were. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to take this totally from memory. No preparation for these. Let me tell you, I should probably prepare for these, but it takes all the fun out of it when you do that. So they took the fight to the barbarians. Well, they never came back, and it had been years since anybody had been in the castle, and I guess their servants and everything else started dying off. So, you as an adventurer are in charge to go and try to find this castle and, explore it and see if anybody's alive, see if the mage and the fighter's there, whoever, And how this was unique from all the other modules was it had the maps like I showed you, and there's all these rooms and locations. Well, what you would do is you would go to the random encounters table and you would roll to see what encounter was in the room. So you had all these room descriptions and stuff like that. But then here's, all of the different encounters that you would have. And then you'd look up the encounter. And then every so many turns you do a wandering monster roll, which was cool. And then it had treasure rooms as well. So, you had, I think, A to H or something like that. So here's a treasure list, and here's the monster. So there's 25 different, encounters that you would have, up to, one huge spider that would just literally destroy the entire party. I was like a dragon back in the day. Large spiders, orcs, centipedes, everything. So you'd roll and see what you got. And then you'd roll after that. So you would kick in the door and you didn't even know what was in there. So you'd have the description of the room, then you'd roll the encounter. And then if you won and if you lived, you would, roll on the treasure list, which was cool too. And, it says, oh, give your, players so many treasures. If you survive in Dungeons and Dragons, a room, if you're fighting, 3D 20, 3D8 orcs and you survive, dude, you deserve treasure parcels. I'm sorry. So I would give treasure parcels. And this is actually going to be the first module that I run when we start playing basic Dungeons and Dragons later this year in 2020. So I'm really looking forward to doing In Search of the Unknown. So yeah, here I think this comes out of the Holmes box set, and then here's the variant cover. Now next, probably one of the most famous D&D adventures of all time, B2, The Keep on the Borderlands. Now, The Keep on the Borderlands, this module brings back so many memories because we played this. This is the first module that my friends and I ever played in school. And this is actually in really good shape still too, which I'm so surprised. But we used to play in class, and my friend James would literally, as he's running, he would write down everything in the room description, and then we'd pass notes around all class. And then James would actually get them back as we told him what we wanted to do. And it was so time consuming. Oh my goodness. Because we had to be sneaky too, because the girls would tell on us and, tell on the teacher, tell on us to the teacher that we were playing, games and stuff. And yeah, it all started because we wouldn't give them our dice. Get out of here. Go get your own dice. but anyway, B2, man, has the maps. The Caves of Chaos, man. This is so brutal. And I got one funny story for you with Keep on the Borderlands. There's a lot of sandbox stuff in here as well. Not only getting to the Caves of Chaos, but there's a hermit. I remember the hermit, but I believe there was like a bandit camp. There was like a spider. There was like a huge web of spider webs in the forest with like giant spiders and stuff. There was like, lizard men. Well, anyway, when we were trying to find, this is so awesome. When we were trying to find the Caves of Chaos, we ran into the old hermit, and the hermit was a badass. And so we actually talked the hermit into helping us fight, because we had heard rumors that there were ogres and dragons and everything else in this Caves of Chaos area. And so we had the hermit actually help us. And later on, we found another cave with an ogre. And the hermit actually talked the ogre, because the ogre started fighting us, because the ogre thought we were going to steal its treasure, which we were going to, but we talked our way out of it. And we actually had, if it wasn't for the hermit and the ogre, dude, we would have never finished B2. We would have been rickrolled so many times, man. B3, Palace of the Silver Princess. This is a good one. And if you've got the orange, there's a variant cover of this too. And if you got the orange cover, dude, you've got a book that's like thousands and thousands of dollars. There's like the orange cover variant. But yeah, Palace of the Silver Princess. This is, it's a good one. And you got to save Princess Argenta. I believe her name was Princess Argenta. And, there's this evil gem involved, and you got to, find the gem, destroy the gem, and save the princess, basically. Well, we did that, and my friend Terry, he fell in love with Princess Argenta. And he kept trying to marry her and all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, like me and my friend James were like, dude, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're not trying to, so it was a little weird, I thought. But anyways, she never married him because he had such a bad charisma, and he kept doing charisma rolls, and, never got to marry her. But there it is, B3. So good. Blue and white maps. TSR. Here's the book, 32 pages. I miss 32-page modules. All these basic D&D modules are all 32 pages for the most part. Man, I love these modules. I wish Wizards of the Coast would start to do more smaller adventures instead of 300-page campaigns. But here you go. Here's B4, The Lost City. I believe there's a variant cover that has the new Dungeons and Dragons logo like that. I believe it's the same color purple, but I believe it has that logo on there from Horror on the Hill. But this is B4. This is The Lost City. And I remember that, and here it is, triple fold out, and different A, B, and C packs for your characters, because these old modules were character grinders. So yeah, but I remember you were in a caravan, and all these B level modules for the most part are like level 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 or something like that. So yeah, you were on a desert caravan pretty much. And then there's like this big old windstorm that happens, and you get lost. You find the Lost City, obviously, because it's the title. But it was a great adventure. I actually really liked this adventure. There were lots. It was a pyramid, basically. And I remember that there were a lot of levels to the pyramid. And, there was a lot of, and the other thing that I really noticed what I really liked about this as a kid, there were a bunch of like deadly traps and deadly puzzles in the Lost City too. But yeah, there's a lot of cool new monsters and stuff that you got to fight, and there's like 10 tiers and 100 rooms. Here it is. Then you got to fight Zargon at the end. Zargon's so cool. So here's your new monsters. Banshee. You better run. You're gonna die. And then here's all kinds of new encounters and stuff like that. And it actually went into detail with the encounters as well. So you'd run into a group of human adventurers or something, and yeah, but that was pretty cool. I really like the Lost City, and this is actually in really good shape too. I'm so glad I took care of these. But here's like all the different tiers and sideway maps and stuff, and it was great. This is a great adventure. And I would actually like to run this as well, and we will. I've already put this in Fantasy Grounds. I've put up to B7 in Fantasy Grounds already, so I've got them all done, B1 to B7. We're ready to go. So there's B4, The Lost City. And that was a great module. I'd probably say that's in my top 25 for modules. Here's B5, Horror on the Hill. It has the new logo, and then you can see in all the other modules after that, it has the new logo for the most part. So yeah, this is Horror on the Hill. It's got a trifold map. That is like the most confusing map ever with the elevations and stuff. But then it has your pre-rolled characters, and this is in good shape too, man. These are all in great shape. Horror on the Hill, man. This is a pretty decent adventure too. And they're all in black and white. Still got all the the art. And you got to start at a fort. What is it called? Guida's Fort? I don't know. Guida's or anyway, not to spend too much time on this, but yeah. But anyway, you're on a fort, and you got to cross the river, which is on the map, and it's a great adventure. It's like a mountain adventure. You go into the mountains, of course. Horror on the Hill. That's putting 2 and 2 together. And you got to fight. This is actually really tough, because there's like a hobgoblin king, a kobold chief, and there's like multiple levels of this like monastery that's in the mountains. And at the end, I think there is a dragon. Is it red or green? I can't remember. But there's a dragon at the end. Yeah, there you go. There's the cube. Check it out. The red dragon. So it's the lair of the red dragon. Sorry about that. I thought it was green, but it's red. So good luck with that, with your low-level characters, levels 1 to 3 for B5, Horror on the Hill. Good luck, adventurers. I don't think I'd put 5th level characters in there. So yeah. So here's B6, the Vale Society. This is actually a really short adventure. This is like a short city adventure, and this is like the first of its kind, and it was pretty cool. So it has your fold out, and then it has, here's some more of your little fold outs here that are in color actually. And then you get a city scale ruler, and this is the Duke's stronghold, which is in, I believe this was actually part of Gazetteer 1, which was the Grand Duchy of Keramikos. And I believe this is Specularum, which is the cat. I think this is Specularum, which is the capital of Keramikos. Let me know in the comments section if I'm wrong about that, but I think it is Specularum. Well, it has, a really short adventure, just 16 pages, some new monsters. It's got a chase scene in there. It's got everything, a barroom brawl, a fight in the alleys and stuff like that. There's like a huge riot that goes on. And then there's like a kobold cavern that you got to go kind of waylay and take them out as well. So there's a lot of cool things that are going on in the Veiled Society. And I do believe it's in Specularum. So it also came with a bunch of cutouts as well that you can make buildings and stuff. And I tried, but yeah, it just didn't work out. But there's a whole bunch of different, doors and walls and stuff like that. But you can see I tried here, and I failed miserably. So I remember crumpling it up because I had like a glue stick, and it kept, every time I was like trying to fold something, I was doing it totally wrong. I was a dumb kid, I was wearing my tinfoil hat trying to create those. But yeah, the Veiled Society, B6. Good short city adventure. One of my top 10s of all time, Rajah. And this was this has so many great memories. This is like one of my all-time favorites. And basically it's about Rahib and the princess, and you got to find, Princess Rajah, obviously there, and you got to save her from the witches, and then there's 3 other maidens that are going to be basically tormented for eternity if you don't free the witches from Princess Rajah and the other 3 maidens. So, it's got a great theme to it. I mean, it's beautiful. I always kind of thought that this was like sort of like Easternish as well. And there's all kinds of like pre-made characters, and your Rajah's letter, and then there's the eye, the black opal eye. That's like a super powerful magic item, and 100 rooms, all kinds of wandering stuff, and all kinds of different wines that you find, and then they have the labels. And yeah, I really like this adventure. This is a great adventure. It's one of my top 10s for sure. Rajah B7. Oh my goodness. So many memories. B8, Journey to the Rock. Another levels 1 to 3. These are all levels, 1 to 3. And yeah, Journey to the Rock. That was a pretty good one too. I don't remember a whole lot about Journey of the Rock, but I believe there was like some kind of medallion or something like that was broken up and you had to find and combine back together. But it was, in fact, to go back to the Veiled Society, this is when they started introducing the Gazetteer content. So this has Gazetteer content as well. And, it's a 32-page book like all of the other ones. It's got your new items. And, oh, yeah, check that out. There you go. There's the Water Weird. The first Water Weird. Really cool. A lot of elemental stuff in here, too, from what I remember reading as a kid, like rock elementals and stuff like that. So, but there you go. Journey to the Rock. Sorry I couldn't give you more information on that, but I forgot. Here's B9, Castle Caldwell and Beyond. This is levels 1 through 3. Look at the Wandering Monster tables. Well, first off, in Castle Caldwell, I remember that there's 5 adventures in here in this module, and they were all low level stuff, and oh yeah, here it is right here. This fortress, or was it a castle? Castle Caldwell, you had to, okay, here it is. Castle Caldwell, you had to clear it out because someone bought this castle and it was full of monsters from what I remember. I could be wrong, but I think you had to go into Castle Caldwell and the dungeon level and clear it out. I think that was like 2 of the adventures. And let's see, there's like the fortress. I can't remember what the fortress was. But anyways, I'm like totally floundering here. Or no, I think you had to escape. I think you were taken captive or something like that. And there was like lots of lizardmen and stuff like that in here. But anyways, it's been so many years. But Castle Caldwell and Beyond, another great one. Oh man, these are in such great shape. B9. The Holy Grail. Here you go, everybody. I did not know when I got into my basic D&D stuff and started looking at it again after being sealed up with duct tape and comic book boxes for years. This is like the Holy Grail of modules for besides the jade hair, which is like unobtainable, and most of them out there are fake, and I would never want to even own one because they're Xeroxed. This is like the Holy Grail. Night's Dark Terror. This is super expensive. I believe this goes up to like $250, and I was so stoked and shocked at the same time. And it's got so much beautiful content in here. And this is like mass battles, and I've never played a Night's Dark Terror, but I do want to play it. And here's more on the Grand Duchy of Karamiko. So it's part of the Gazetteer series as well. So it has a nice semi-colorful map, and then it has the Temple of Pilar, which is a deity, and it's beautiful. And then it has like a tapestry that you can show your players. Lots of other maps for random encounters like the Gold Mine and Wolf Skull Lair and stuff. Here's another couple of maps. I gotta be really careful with this, but it's got a nice 8-panel fold-out map as well. The beautiful book. This is like still like brand new looking. Got all kinds of like new creatures and new monsters, and so awesome. It's real sandbox-ish as well. And there's like all kinds of clans you can like pit against each other to fight, and yeah, this is really cool. Mass combat and stuff, but a lot of orcs and stuff. Now, what makes this module super rare is this cheat sheet here. And the cheat sheet is, they're like little pogs. So you can see, here's your fighter, your clerics, your magic users, and all that stuff. NPCs. Here's different pogs for riders and centaurs and all the monsters in the book, basically. Well, when this module was produced, this is what I read online, because I wanted to find out why this was so expensive. I didn't know if it was short printed or not, but come to find out, this cheat sheet was missing out of about 90% of the B10s that were made. And the article said that I read that when the company was putting the module together, like the map, everything, they were putting everything together, this cheat sheet got lost, basically, until the very end. And then they're like, well, crap. All these modules were in cases already. They were, already shrink wrapped and all that other stuff. So they were like, screw it. They can, if they get one, they can send us in the proof of purchase, and then we'll mail them this on the side, I guess. That's how as I understood it. But I guess a lot of people didn't do that. And so, yeah, when I opened up mine, I got lucky, and I have one of the 10% that actually had this cheat sheet in it. So this is super rare. I don't want to break it. I mean, this is like magnificent. But that's the reason why Night's Dark Terror B10 is so expensive. Simply because of the cheat sheet. And no, I'm not saying the S word, but man, I'm just so scared that I'm going to put my fingers through this. And man, I'd just go ahead and find the tallest bridge and jump off. But no, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But anyway, there's B10, Night's Dark Terror. This is like the Holy Grail. And this thing is in such beautiful condition. I mean, this is like the module that's in the best shape too. I mean, this is crazy. So B10, Night's Dark Terror. Here's some other rare ones too. Was B11 and B12. And these two are and we actually have played these. I really like these. A lot of people say they don't like B12, but I don't understand why. But these modules kind of go together as part 1 and part 2. And King's Festival, it's about, basically it's a town that's having like this huge festival. And, the king asks you to take care of the orcs because they raid the festival and all that other good stuff. And you got to go find the orcs, burn the temple, and all that other stuff. So it's a cool dungeon, dungeon grinder. And then there's also, I can't remember the NPC's name, but he'll accompany you as well to help you in case you're, short. And plus he knows the direction and all that stuff. So yeah, King's Festival, we've played this. Actually, I've played this a couple times, and it's part of the Grand Duchy of Karameikos as well. Really good. But these are actually pretty pricey too. King's Festival and Queen's Harvest. Oh, look at I did. I highlighted these. I remember I highlighted these. Wah, wah, wah. It's okay. I was like, everything that I highlighted, I tried not to read, so... Because I wanted everything, and I was like, Mom, will you buy me this? Will you buy me this? And she did. And thank you to my mom. I mean, she bought me most of this stuff. So here's a B12, which is the last module of the series. This is Queen's Harvest, and this is the continuation from King's Festival. And you basically, it's just a follow-up, and then you got to find, the mad wizard that concocted this whole shebang with the orcs and all that other stuff. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. B12 Queen's Harvest. That's actually pretty. I think this is actually pretty rare. I think it's like $100 at least. Man, I didn't know until people started telling me in chat and on my YouTube comments, do you know how much money those are? I'm like, no. So here's In Search of Adventure, and this is actually a pretty big paperback, and this is 160 pages. And what this did was this took B1, In Search of the Unknown, all the way to B9, which was right before Night Dark's Terror, which was Castle Caldwell and Beyond. And what this did, from what I remember, because it obviously, this would be like 270 pages if they just basically just copy pasted it into the book and made it that way. But what they did was they adjusted B1 through B9 to where they kind of interlinked with one another, and they made it like a big campaign out of B1 through B9, and they cut a lot of stuff out as well in B1 through 9. And I mean, this has everything, all the maps, everything. So yeah, In Search of Adventure. This was really fun as well. Me and my son played this. We didn't get all the way through it, but we took his dwarf brownie beard, and I took a couple of my characters that I made, and we played 4 characters, I think. Yeah, I played 2, he played 2, and then we kind of took turns, like kind of reading the descriptions and stuff. So yeah, this is good. In Search of Adventure. This is an actual pretty rare book too, but this has B1 through 9 in it. And then the last B module, which is my son, he loved this, Ghost of Lion Castle, because my son loves lions and tigers, and he always wanted to play this, so he would take different characters. Even though this is made for a rogue, he would always want to play this. So we would always do this when he would come over to the house, and it was really fun. Had a lot of good times with my son with this. But I actually got this at a here's that local bookstore that I would go to. Half Price Books, man. I love that place. They were around for about 5 years, and then they went out of business. And so it had, a couple maps and, trifold maps. And actually, there's a lot of content in here. And it was sort of like a choose your own adventure. So you'd start out and, you'd start at B1, and then it would say go to B2 or go to B3 or choose between this or this. Or if you're going to do this, go to, R27 or R50. So you'd have to, it was like choose your own adventure. And then you'd, go to the C's and then, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that was, all the way to the L's. But yeah, my son has played this quite a bit. The Ghost of Lion's Castle. And this is a solo adventure. So you could, try out all the different classes and stuff. But there you go, everybody. This is the entire B series with B1 through 12, In Search of Adventure, and the B solo. And yeah, these are all the entire B series. I've got a couple that are in like unknowns in bad shape, but for the most part, like I cut out some of the cutouts from Vale Society, but yeah, for the most part, they're in great shape. Wish I had that orange cover though for B3. So there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's a lot of memories in these boxes, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please thumbs it up. And also, if you like what you see, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll get notifications whenever I drop. Is that what all you youngins say nowadays? We're going to drop the videos or something like that? But that's what my son said. But anyway, there you go, everybody. That's the entire B series. Everything there. And leave a comment down below, because I like to read your comments. Let me know what B modules you have. I want to hear your stories too. I love reading stories. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the B series, and we'll go on to the X series in the next What's on Dave's Shelf video. So until next time, everybody, happy gaming, stay safe, and I'll see you next video. Bye, everybody.